This week saw the release of the second issue of the brand new Wonder Woman comic book series, Absolute Wonder Woman. For those that haven't been keeping up, DC's Absolute Universe is a brand new line of comics, free from the shackles of almost a century of continuity, with bold new takes on established heroes. Last time I talked about their new Wonder Woman, Diana, Princess of Hell, who used sorcery and a massive sword to protect Gateway City from the emerging beasts that were looking to consume humanity. When we last saw our hero, she confronted the massive beast Harbinger Prime, and this issue continues that fight. Briefly, it's mostly about introducing the book's supporting cast, namely Steve Trevor, who I will get to shortly. So, as is my wont, rather than doing a beat-by-beat breakdown of what happens in the book, after all I want you guys to go out and read it yourselves, let's instead talk about some of the things that interested me in this issue. The first thing I want to talk about is Wonder Woman's equipment. Last issue introduced us to her massive Buster Sword, but this issue includes the debut of her new lasso. Wonder Woman's lasso is named Nemesis, a lasso of vengeance and punishment, not truth. It inflicts pain on people that is equal to the pain that they have inflicted on others. This lasso is named after the Greek goddess of retribution and revenge. This really sets the tone for the absolute Wonder Woman. She still uses the lasso to force compliance, but it's through righteous pain, rather than making them tell the truth. I say the pain is righteous because it doesn't surpass the pain they've inflicted on others. If you're a good person and you get caught in the lasso, you've got nothing to worry about. Mean people, however, will have a bad time. I'm curious to see how Nemesis would work with an average everyday person, considering we have all hurt other people in our lifetime, some more so than others, but certainly less than a demonic beast from the depths of hell. I hope. Sticking with Wonder Woman's arsenal, let's talk about her flying horse. This issue makes it clear that he is not a Pegasus, he is the Pegasus, as in the mythological figure, and he eats magic. When asked why he's skeletal, Diana responds, because he was slain. I don't know why, but that really made me laugh. The main focus of this issue is introducing us to the absolute version of Steve Trevor, who is traditionally Wonder Woman's love interest, and that seems to be the case here too. After Diana chases off Harbinger Prime, Steve steps out of the smoke and dust to greet Diana, and we are shown how the two know each other. Years ago, Steve had washed up on the shores of Diana's island home, the Wild Isle, in Hell. Unlike Themyscira, there are no rules against men on this island. It just so happens that it is only inhabited by Diana and her mother Circe. How Steve wound up on the island isn't disclosed. Apparently he wasn't exactly dead, but sort of was. Note that the general mentions that some people think Steve is Jesus, which could be a reference to him being viewed as fair and decent, but also the fact that he seemingly rose from the grave. Either way, Steve is welcomed by Circe and Diana, and I guess they helped him get home. And he is very pleased to see Diana among the rubble and the ruin of Gateway City. She's pretty pleased to see him too. Next, we'll talk a little more about Wonder Woman. So Diana towers over everyone. Steve mentions that he is considered to be a tall man, and that she is a similar height to him. Women generally aren't that tall, he notes, but is quick to point out that there's nothing wrong with a tall woman. Amen. There's a really nice shot showing how Diana looms over the general in charge of the operation, which really emphasizes how small and pathetic he is. He's shouting and screaming at her, which Diana identifies as an expression of his fear of what's going on. The fact that he was powerless to stop it, and he had to rely on a stranger who he has no influence over. In his line of work, he is accustomed to people responding to his orders, but Diana doesn't have to comply. She could squash him like a bug if she wanted to, and this new dynamic frustrates him. Diana is calm and not at all demeaning when she speaks to people, even those that are hostile towards her, like the General and Harbinger Prime. She even negotiates with Harbinger Prime, saying that she is more than capable of causing him great pain, but would rather he just turned around and left Gateway City. When he accepts her proposal, she allows him to leave without retaliation, despite the fact that he's a beast from hell that has caused immeasurable suffering in Gateway City. She knows that this battle will not be the end of it. Far from it. The real threat is the gigantic beast Tetracide, which looks like a massive Cthulhu-type beast whose roar causes anguish and pain in everyone that hears it. Diana had instructed the military to evacuate all people within a mile radius, but upon seeing Tetracide, she realizes that the entire city will need to be evacuated. The last thing I want to talk about is the artwork. Now, last time I praised artist Hayden Sherman for his delicate line work and the Hellenistic quality to the character designs, and that remains to be the case in this issue. His Steve Trevor looks delicate and kind with golden hair, almost like a classical depiction of the god Apollo. Now, this is pure speculation on my part, but I wonder if they'll invert things here by having Steve Trevor be a god in disguise manipulating Diana rather than being her lover. Probably not, but we'll see. I also want to highlight the work of colorist Jordine Belair. I really like the stark contrast between Wonder Woman and the rest of man's world. After the conflict, Gateway City is very drably coloured, lots of greys and browns, and the military uniforms are dull looking. Diana, meanwhile, pops in her red outfit, and her piercing blue eyes really stand out. Really nice work all round. Generally speaking, I'm enjoying this new line of Absolute Comics. They each have their own distinct flavour, with Batman being a socio-political action thriller, Wonder Woman being a fantasy adventure, and Superman is an environmentalist science fiction epic. And I think it's funny how, despite making some major changes to these characters, they're still recognisably the heroes we all know and love.
Okay, that's it for this week's essay. If you liked the video, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, leave a comment, tell all your friends about me. You know how YouTube works. If you really enjoyed the video and have the means, please consider making use of the thanks button to send a buck or two my way, because every little helps. I offer channel memberships for $1.99 a month. This will get you early access to my weekly video essay, priority responses to your comments, members-only videos, custom emojis, and an icon on your profile indicating that you're one of my people. And special thanks to my current channel members, who are all listed on the screen right now.
So those were my thoughts on Absolute Wonder Woman 2. Have you picked this issue up? What do you make of this new Wonder Woman? Is there more to Steve Trevor than meets the eye? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. This issue should be available in most good comic shops, and maybe even a few not so great ones too. But if you're daunted at the prospect of having to store a comic book collection, you might want to consider going digital. Absolute Wonder Woman 2 can be bought digitally from Amazon, and I do have an affiliate link which I've included in the info button and this video's description. If you use that link, it will help out my channel, but hey, no pressure. In next week's comic-centric video, I'll be talking about the second issue of Absolute Superman, where Superman is poised to face off against the Peacemakers and Lois Lane. Hope to see you then.